believers too. The difference is what you are believing. And then they tell you that I believe something. Tell them that, but you need to believe in Jesus Christ so that you can live. He said, am I dead now? And the guy will challenge you that if the iron I'm serving that I believe in is not alive or not potent, then I should have died. The same person can show you the things working maybe in his life, or the good job, or the good car, or the good houses, and say, look at me now, I'm 40 something years old. I've been living fine since the beginning of my life. So why should I believe in what you are presenting? Did I tell you I'm suffering? Am I complaining? Is there anything I'm looking for? I'm okay. So tell me more than reasonable fact when I should believe in it. So you now realize that explanation will fail except there be the manifestation of the sons of God. That is what can humble the people, humble the king, humble the nobles, humble the men, and say there is a God in you. In Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar will never look to anybody like there is a God they worship. As a matter of fact, they came back and said, we must bow down and worship him every time, and every time. But guess what happened? Guess what happened? As soon as that became, the next thing was Daniel showed up. By the time Daniel showed up, everything turned around. Please celebrate with me, God's servant, Pastor Benga Oba. Please celebrate with me, Bishop. Please let me bring Bishop to the front. Please celebrate God's servant. Do that better and better. Do that better and better. Do that better and better. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Hallelujah. So the word will ask us and challenge us that. So you prove it. You prove it. You show workings. Let me see the mark that you are different. Let me see the mark that you are different. And that's why it's good to understand that as a living proof believer, there is a minimum expectation required from us. And now as a minister that we are and expected to be, there is such a way we are made, we are shaped, that makes us to last and stand for the God we are to represent. Moses, he thought he could rescue. He thought the rescue mission is just by desire or passion. And why the two Hebrews, they were fighting, he went there, wanting to, of course, the first time was killed an Egyptian, buried. By the other time he showed up, and he was saying that you people stop fighting, don't even fight. You know the next thing that the Hebrew asked him, he said, who made you a ruler? In other words, before you can come to talk or to challenge or to make a statement, you must have been made. So there are statements you don't make until you are made. There are impact we can't make until we are made. So rather than me looking for the impact, I better first be looking for the making. I like the impact. I like what I'm seeing. But can you please help me? How can I get to this point? I like the clothes. Maybe pastor or anyone is wearing, or you've seen somebody from the course of the conference. I like your clothes. Before you go to wow, like, how did you? Or you want to just wisely say, how much is it? And then you now begin to know, oh, this is the criteria, the expectation. Oh, it's not even around there. It's Italian, whatever. It took like 47 days on the ship. That's when you will now realize if you truly still want it or not. There is what we call a believer as a living proof. Yet another we call the minister as a living proof. So what are the few makings or certain things that are required, necessary for the making of a living proof minister? Number one, A life devoted to Christ, sold out to God and the kingdom cause. Number one, a life devoted to Christ, sold out to God and the kingdom cause. Galatians chapter 1 and then verse 13. Galatians 1:13. For ye have heard of my conversation in time past in the Jews' religion, how that beyond measure I persecuted the church of God and wasted it, and profited in the Jewish religion among many my equals in my own nation, being more exceedingly zealous for the traditions of my father. And look at verse 15. But when it pleased the Lord, who separated me from my mother's womb and called me by his grace, to reveal his son in me, that I might preach him among the heathen. Immediately, what happened? I did not conform with what? Flesh and blood. Look at the next verse. Straightways, I did not go to Jerusalem to them who were apostles before me, but I went on to Arabia, returned again unto Damascus, verse 18. Then after 3 years, I went up to Jerusalem to see Peter and abode with him 15 days. The next verse. But other of the apostles saw I none, save James the lost brother. 20. Now the things which I write to you, behold, before God are lied on. Now, it was only trying to talk about how he came unto God and how immediately he responded to the call of God, and how immediately it is unmistakable that the call pushed him straight into the things of God. So you must know the Christ. You must be sold out to him, and of course to the kingdom cause. Colossians chapter 4 and then verse 17. Look at how the Bible so says it very clearly. And say to Archippus, take it to the ministry which you have received in the Lord. In the Lord is different from the Lord. You know why? You can collect from who you don't know. You can collect from who you don't know. You can partake of benefit from a stranger. Even you have given things to people you don't know, so they have received from you, different from in the Lord. In other words, it was first planted in him before he owns a ministry. But there are people advancing the call without knowing the God of the call. It's very, very possible. Very, very possible. But that you receive it is not enough. He said, take it that you may fulfill it. In other words, you have one more emphasis than receiving the fulfillment. And we should know as ministers of God that it's not everyone that has received the mandate from God that will fulfill the mandate from God. In fact, not everyone that died has fulfilled. That's why we always say satisfaction is not fulfillment. If we will chase fulfillment, we must daily look into the scroll. What did God say concerning me? What has God said? To what degree? To what emphasis? To what point? Vision after vision, time after time, again and again. What God is saying repeatedly. Okay, Lord, now what is next? Okay, Lord, what is next? This is how to keep the vision forward until there is fulfillment. If not, you will stay on one, achieve it. It will look like something is done. You are satisfied, you are okay. But it's only when heaven says okay that fulfillment is recorded. So you can't be okay when heaven says it's not okay. That is number one. Number two, I believe if you remember now that you are here, it's because God has seen that there's something unique about you. So you are very correct to be here. Because certain meeting was we will enter now. Number two, what will make me as a living proof minister? 2 Timothy 4 and 5. Very clear a statement. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of your ministry. So what is going to make him